What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about stellar lumens today, XLM USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 30th day of October, and here we are sitting at about 29.7 cents, 7 hours and 34 minutes left in the day. We are dumping down about 6% on the day, just under there. At the low ends of this range, dealing with the aftermath of the massive flash crash on the 10th there, we're literally at the low ends of this range. At the low ends, not just of this range, but of this overall range as well. And if we zoom out a little bit more, maybe on the weekly time frame, we're about midway through this range, on the lower ends of this range. Nonetheless, still at prior areas of resistance here, prior areas of resistance there, and support here. If we go back in time, we look at where we are here. Prior resistance, prior support, support right there. Somewhat of a significant area. Not the most respected area, but still, especially relatively speaking, a very significant area. I wouldn't be surprised if we went a little bit lower, looking at the price like this, but let's look at the 1 hour time frame just to be sure. Okay, so here we are, looking at the 1 hour. You're definitely moving down with a purpose. Do we have the volume to back it up? Volume's coming in a little bit, but really it's dying off. You can see it, so that's encouraging, right? We're slipping right now. I think that a large part of this drop is probably due to the fact that the stock market is dropping as well, right? Crypto kind of takes a back seat whenever the stock market drops. Though it seems like it's been taking a back seat even whenever the stock market pumps. Am I right? Looking at the RSI, definitely weak. Some of the weakest readings we've seen on the 1 hour RSI all month. Literally some of the weakest, excluding the 10th. I mean, we typically don't go. In fact, let's look at this. Okay, let's look at this right here. Let's go through, and every single time this month of October that we've hit this level here, and we'll even count this one because it was right at the end of September there, that we've hit this level or around it. We're not going to go for this one because that was the flash crash. Let's just see what kind of reaction we had afterwards, right? Because the reaction we had after this is probably not the same reaction we'll have at any of these other times. This was pretty close, but not close enough. We're not going to count it. Okay, it's been some time clearly since we've seen this kind of low reading in the RSI. So here, looking at the price action now, well, we recovered, didn't we? We recovered. That was a nice recovery. That was actually our last low. The time before that, we did recover a little bit, but we went lower, not too much. Here, nothing, big old dud. Here, recovery. Here, recovery as well right afterwards. So most of the time we recover. Very rarely does nothing happen. Okay, does it mean that we're done? Does it mean that we're moving up higher and that's the low? We have higher lows? No, we have seen recovery and then ultimately gone to lower prices afterwards. We have seen it, but still, this is typically an area where we do look to find support and bounce. If we're looking at this not just on the RSI, but we're looking at it on the stochastics, we're also at a very low end in the stochastics as well, man. I mean, that's a pretty low reading in the stochastics, about as low as it gets. And we're bouncing off of there. Once we get out of the oversold zone, once we start to see some readings up here, we should be pushing higher to the overbought zone. That should provide that this area is the low. The MACD looks terrible, but it's the 1 hour time frame, so it holds less weight. If we're looking at this on the 4 hour, the 4 hour RSI is also sad. We have lower lows here and lower highs here. Nice little parallel channel to the downside. Typically with the 4 hour RSI, whenever I see you get oversold, I do expect another drive down. Now, does that drive, oh, that's not what I meant to do, hold on. Does that drive promote lower prices? Or it probably does promote lower prices, but does it promote a lower low in the RSI or a higher low in the RSI? That remains to be seen, right? That remains to be seen. But if we do, have a little bit of recovery here, and then tomorrow or over the coming days, we move down, we get a lower low in the price, and with that, we get a higher low in the RSI. That would set us up for some bullish divergence. We'd likely come to an end in this downward sloping trend and then look to break out, going over the weekend, or maybe even going into next week, we'd be looking to break out. So really, I'm expecting not much to happen between now and the next few days. Short of a little bit of recovery. Maybe we get some recovery. We move up to about 31.6 cents. We're at 29.8 cents now, and that's fine. But I wouldn't be surprised if it came back down and even went below these levels here. I want to throw some fibs on here and just see what we're looking at from that perspective there. So the only real fibs that we have to go off of, because the 10th was just fake wackadoo price action, might be this high here to this low here. Rejecting the, I mean, that would make me think that we go lower. This kind of price action typically would make me think that we go lower than this low. And if that were the case, we would then expect to see prices down at 27.8 to 26.5 cents. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I have a hard time seeing that much of a drop. Just because I have a hard time seeing it doesn't mean it'll happen. Doesn't mean that it won't happen, right? Um, Looking at the price, whenever you break through the golden ratio like this, you typically do get some type of volatility that brings you back to this area. So again, even if we see prices back at 31 cents, or what is that level there? What price is that? That's like 31 and a half cents. Regardless of seeing prices there, that could likely just be another lower high in this kind of dynamic. And then we come down and we form our lower low or slightly lower low, maybe a double bottom, whatever it might be. Perhaps we do go all the way down to 27.8 to 26.5 cents. I'm not calling for this. I don't feel right about that price action, but nonetheless, by the book, this is how we would do it. So it's something to be aware of. Being here at 29.7 cents, a drop to 26.5 cents is not ideal, but it's not going to kill you, right? It's slightly lower lows. Talk about capitulation, man. We take out those lows, we take out the lows from the 10th. People would capitulate left and right, and that's the best time to buy is during mass capitulation. This does look like a pretty solid move. And if I'm being fair, just looking at this here, it actually does kind of look like a breakout, doesn't it, of this overall range? It looks like a little bit of a breakout. I'm not drawing that line the best. Let me just show you, right? Like of this overall trend here, it looks like we're breaking out right now. I mean, maybe I should just stick to the book. Maybe we are going to 27.8 or 26.5 cents. It's a pretty intimidating 4-hour candle, if I'm being honest, and we're not doing so hot here. But again, some short-term volatility should be expected. 31 and a half cents. If not there, at least 30 and a half cents, and then lower. Do we take out this low? I'm not quite sold yet, but just in case I'm late to the late to the drop, late for the call on this, sure, 27.8 cents to 26.5 cents could be where we go. I'm very reluctant to make that call, though. I still have hopes that we're going to find a higher low and that we turn around, but just looking at the 4-hour indicators and the 1-hour indicators, I think that we have lower to go, man. I really do. Daily time frame looking here. The RSI also sucks. You're rejecting the 50. Likely you would get oversold, which promotes lower prices. The stochastics, the stochastics are, I don't want to paste anything, are likely going to promote lower prices as well. And the MACD on the daily, I mean, it's not really relevant. You're moving sideways. It's not going to hold as much weight whenever you're moving sideways. It's kind of worthless. I mean, we probably come down. We form some red, build some more bearish momentum. It'll be a higher low. And we'll have some bullish divergence to go off of or something like that. But overall, I guess I am more accepting of the idea that we do go to prices that are below what we saw on the 10th there. Maybe something at 28.2 cents could hold, maybe something at 29.3 cents could hold, but we are looking, I guess, at that 27.8 cent to 27.8 to 26.5 cent area. I hope I'm wrong. If we hold 29.2 cents as support, 29.4 cents as support, if we can hold that as support, then there is hope. We validate that as a support level once we get above about 32.3 cents. So I'm wrong. In other words, I'm calling for the price to go down here, okay, somewhere in this area, okay, in this little zone here. I'll be wrong on that call if we get a day to close above this line here at about 32.4 cents, okay? After we break above that, we should be on our merry way to new highs, new relevant highs, breaking out of this range and all that stuff. I wouldn't be surprised at all if by the end of November we were above the high that we formed last November in 2024. I wouldn't be surprised in the least. Going into the end of the year, we are looking for targets that are around $2, if not $3, something like that. But I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all. My daughter's about to scream, so I'm going to end it. Bye-bye.